It's your boy Guru in the house, back with another Arsenal news episode where, ladies and gentlemen, big questions coming up, and we have to answer this. Bad news after bad news after bad news, and a big question coming up as well. So are you ready to answer that? Well, only time will tell. And of course we're going to talk about a lot of stuffs, including a new goalkeeper. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about Achraf Hakimi, the bid, the price tag and everything. So if you seek daily Arsenal content, best place to be, consider subscribing. The first news that we got here is about none other than David Luiz. So it's confirmed that David Luiz will be out for 4 weeks after undergoing knee surgery with Arsenal. Hopeful the defender will play again this season after small procedure put his campaign in doubt, according to Sami Mokbel. And provided Arsenal progress, the possibility of having Luiz available for the final of the Europa League match will come as a welcome boost for Arsenal. So that means it's pretty much clear David Luiz, if available, can only play in the finals of the Europa League. Other than that, his season is over for the other games. Moving on, so talking about only one person, the report of Kieran Tierney, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the update on Kieran Tierney's injury is out. The Mail say Kieran Tierney is set for a scan in the next 48 hours to determine the severity of his injury and give Arsenal a clearer indication of exactly how long he will be out for. Well, that is the sad part, because it looks like he's set for several weeks on the sidelines after suffering knee injury against Liverpool. Now, it looks like what noticed, according to this report at the Daily Mail, Kieran Tierney will be out for a number of weeks in a second major defensive setback for Mikel Arteta. Centre-back David Luiz is set for an extended spell out. We all know that. He got a minor surgery done, but Tierney hurt himself in a clash with James Milner, and Arteta confirmed, saying that he felt something in his knee and he was in pain. So if this pain can actually do something, but that's like, Slavia Praha losing Kudela, but we lost Luiz and Tierney. This is two big players, man, in the defense against Slavia, and we can't be without Tierney. I mean, we can actually work out without David Luiz, but not without Tierney, man. It's going to be a different struggle. Different struggle. And that is confirmed in Alan Shearer's agreement with Jose Mourinho provides insight into Arsenal's looming problem. Now, Arsenal actually have a very nervous encounter as to what happens to Kieran Tierney's future in the upcoming weeks or other days. Well, we all know that Tierney has been the mainstay in Arsenal's defense, but this is what Alan Shearer had to say. He says after about the whole Tierney incident, he says, "What about the work of Kieran Tierney, the best player on the park? The give, the go. It's great to sit and watch him, and the balls that he puts in, and the quality that he has with that left foot in there, and for him to pick Aubameyang out the way that he did and get in that position. As I said, he was the best player on the park." Well, Tierney's impressive performances of late have left Arsenal fans with a lot to shout about, but with many predicting that he could soon challenge Andy Robertson to be the best left back in the Premier League as well. But here's more to it. Mourinho actually spoke to Sky Sports. He says Tierney is like a young Nacho Monreal. He's the same kind of profile. He's reliable, looks a good character, looks a great personality. He looks a little like someone from a previous generation in some aspects. He has a humble way of behaving, and I like his profile. So Mourinho first, and then it looks like it's going to be something special from Alan Shearer as well. So I don't know. Let's wait for the scan reports. Let's not get panicked into believing that it's done and dusted, it's over. But let's move on to Achraf Hakimi news, because Hector Bellerin's career is getting further away from Arsenal every day, and the club have set to work on finding a replacement. Arsenal see Achraf Hakimi as a perfect player, but Inter Milan have put 50 million euros as a price tag, according to AS, who say, actually Amalia Fra comes out with a report. She says Arsenal are targeting the Inter Milan player to replace Hector Bellerin, who will leave London club at the end of the season. It will cost about 50 million euros. The price tag is done. In Italy, they say that Inter Milan, given the interest that their player is awakening, has put a price on him. They demand 50 million euros for the former Real Madrid player. Now, Achraf arrived in Serie A. We all know that story. They want some profit from the price tag that they've actually paid to Real Madrid, but it looks like that's the real price tag, 50 million euros. They're going to earn 10 million euros and a Serie A from Ashraf Hakimi. Believe it or not. Whew. Moving on, so if you've been wondering what's wrong with Lucas Torreira, well, the reason why he's actually failed his Atletico Madrid loan move has been a horror time. Well, Lucas Torreira, in an interview after his mother's passing, he says, I told my agent that I don't want to play in Europe anymore. He's got 3 years after his arrival at the Emirates Stadium, he looked like an exciting prospect. For 26 million Arsenal had paid for signing him from Sampdoria. Still on the books, Torreira looks that he does not want to play. I don't know what's wrong. Well, he's managing just 3 La Liga starts for Atletico Madrid, playing a big part role with 22 appearances across all competitions, just 5 of which has been starts, totaling just 629 minutes. That's 31% of the minutes he managed in his final season at Arsenal, a return that has him ready to quit not only Atletico or Arsenal but European football together. We all know that he's been saying about, he wants to play for Boca Juniors again, but I don't know what's going to happen, man. It's over, I guess, for him. So, talking about a contributor of La Liga Lowdown Leverage says Atletico had been following Torreira for quite some time before they actually got their hands on him, dating back to his time in South America. So the fact that Simeone hasn't used him more is quite surprising. In a way, he's been pretty unfortunate. He was signed to play in the holding midfield role, which Thomas Partey vacated. But rather than coming in as a straight swap, Simeone changed the formation to a 3-4-2-1 shape, which doesn't involve a holding midfielder. In that formation, Koke is a guaranteed starter, and then Simeone has tended to go with a more offensive and open midfielders like Saul Niguez, Marcos Llorente and Thomas Lemar. Shortly after he joined, Geoffrey Kondogbia also came in from Valencia and has jumped ahead of Torreira in the pecking order too. So with only one real midfield spot up for grabs, he's really higher than 4th choice for it. Wow. Anyways, I don't think so he's going to get more things. But talking about it, Arsenal fans have actually loved what Ainsley Maitland-Niles did against Chelsea. A masterclass. So we all know where the West Bromwich Albion shocked Chelsea in a 5-2 win. And it looks like Ainsley has some admirers and some Arsenal fans. Someone says, Ainsley Maitland-Niles with such a good half versus Chelsea, I rate him. Another one says, absolute masterclass from Arteta to send Ainsley on loan to West Brom to be a 4-1 up to Chelsea. Don't ever say my manager isn't clever. Another one said, Ainsley Maitland-Niles was actually really very good against Chelsea. Passed okay, defensively excellent, and that unpredictable dribbling was on show again. Ainsley Maitland-Niles loves winning against Chelsea. Another one said, Maitland-Niles masterclass against Chelsea, W in my book. Another one said, Maitland-Niles took them apart, loved Chelsea's last 3 fixtures. Arsene Wenger always said playing youngsters costs you points. Ideally for me, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who was really good versus Chelsea today, gets his errors off the way as a regular at the Brom and comes back to the Emirates next year and we cash in on Xhaka. Okay. So Michael Owen claims that Arsenal are now an average Premier League team after Liverpool defeat. It's quite some strong words. He says, I think Arsenal are probably 10 or 20% worse than what we collectively think. Their badge carries them, their stadium and their support and the legends that have played for them carry them. Arsenal are a huge club, so I've naturally got an opinion, and our generation has an opinion way above what they actually are. They're average, they're 9th in the league, aren't they? So an average Premier League team. We haven't played 5 games this season. 15 years they've been an okay team, but okay is just not enough. Certainly not enough from the teams I grew up watching. They've had gluts of years where they were unbelievable title-winning teams. Every year they would be up there and you'd think, wow, we've got to beat Arsenal. Super strong words from Michael Owen. Wow. Moving on, here's the big question. Would you take David De Gea at Arsenal? Well, Manchester United placed a £50 million price tag on David De Gea. Manchester United are reportedly preparing to offload David De Gea in the summer transfer window and value him at around £50 million. Well, according to the Mirror, of course, yeah, we don't believe in Mirror, but he is one of the longest serving members currently in the Manchester United squad. But a lot of Arsenal fans are actually doubting Bernd Leno. Would you or would you not take David De Gea as one of the goalkeepers at Arsenal? No. it's just that I didn't have any more news about it. So with this, we end this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you seek daily Arsenal content, best place to be, consider subscribing.